Hello everyone, I hope you're doing great. I'm not going to take much of your time as you're going to watch 1 hour long video. The video that you're going to watch is recorded video of a webinar that we had in collaboration with NailIB. We had two webinars. One about both were about the assessments. One for only dedicated to the exhibition, and one for the essay. I hope you enjoy and learn a lot. But before we go there, I want to introduce you two books. One, TOK for Dummies, which means all the concepts of TOK, everything about TOK explained in simple language through a lot of real-life examples and events and everything. So you may want to consider buying it if you want to know finally what TOK is about, because the motto of this book is that this book makes TOK make sense. And this one that you may be familiar with is just for assessments with a lot of step-by-step instructions and approaches and sample text from previous assessed essays and exhibitions, and a lot of cool stuff in it that helps you just get an A, hopefully, in TOK assessment. So these two books for you. You can find the links to the books down below. You can find the links to the video course that I have on NailIB down below, and a lot of other cool stuff in the description. Nothing else, and thank you for watching. Let's continue to the webinar. It's quite long, 1 hour. Bring your coffee and tea and whatever you want to drink. Thank you. Hello everyone, how are you doing today? It's good again to be here. Why do I say again? You will find out later. My name is Bahadur Shirazian. I'm an IB educator with decades of experience being with you lovely people. You may know me from one and only NailIB, that my video course, TOK video course, is on, and you can watch the entire course and learn everything about the TOK. I know TOK is pain. Many find it like useless, many find it so complicated, but it's not. It's just a difference of how to teach TOK. If you can teach it in simple way, everything will go smooth. I will be referring to my book. You may know me as the author of this book. You may also know me from the TOK community, TOK Discussions, and as I said, from one and only NailIB. I will tell you later why you should choose and watch. Because the application, buying subscription, that's not the biggest part. Spending time for you IB students is the biggest thing, biggest obstacle, biggest issue, because you don't have time. You don't have time at all, I know. And okay, this webinar is brought to you by NailIB, and I hope it helps you a lot in order to write your essay, TOK essay, which is the next part of the webinar, or the other webinar. I think it will be two different. And also create your exhibition. People are joining, I can see on my laptop, and unfortunately due to the lack of time, the time is limited. I have been warned to finish it on 45 minutes. I think we will go something around 1 hour. Still, I don't think we will have time for Q&A. Sorry for that. If you want, whatever the question comes to your mind, just write it in the chat. I will check it and I try to just answer. So let's start to talk about TOK Exhibition and what's going on, what you should do. TOK Exhibition, first of all, is one kind of assessment. It's a test, it's exam. IB doesn't like the word, but reality, it's an exam. It is an internal assessment, like you have in other subjects, like chemistry, biology, physics, math, art, any subject that you've taken. It is internal assessment, so it means that TOK Exhibition will be assessed by your teacher. So it's not external that you just write and send, upload to for IB. It is assessed by your teacher, so you need to know your teacher is, he or she has a very crucial role in forming and assessing. So that's why, while I'm explaining to you, I will tell you the parts that are really, you need to go with the flow that your teacher creates. So it's internal assessment, and from the total assessment, exhibition has 1/3, roughly 33% of your total mark. The rest is, essay. And the exhibition, like the essay, is marked out of 10. So how it works is that, let's say, you receive 8 out of 10 for your exhibition, and you receive 8 out of 10 for your essay. 1/3, 2/3. So your exhibition will remain 8. Essay will be multiplied by 2, which will come 16. 16 in 8, 24 out of 30. Simple. So that's how it works. It's not very important, but it's important for you to know. Next thing that you need to know is that for creating an exhibition, like writing an essay or doing any kind of internal assessment, you need some kind of a title, some kind of a topic to work on. That title or topic is called IA prompt. There are 35 IA prompts in the TOK guide. You don't have the guide. Your teacher has. And this is when it gets a little bit teacher-based, based on your teacher's approach and mindset. Sometimes teachers just assign, which I don't think is a good idea, because it is your right, student, to choose your own, because that's your exhibition. You shouldn't be assigned one prompt, but sometimes it is what it is. So your teacher assigns, okay, go write IA prompt number 26. Write about it. Create your exhibition, because I know you can. So in that case, you absolutely cannot do anything. But if you have the choice, or if you can demand to have a choice, then your teacher, and most teachers do that because it is instructed by IB, that the teacher gives you the full list of 35 IA prompts. Also, the teacher has to explain each and every IA prompt. If due to, sometimes the time is short, schools are just keep changing things, your teacher replaces by another. Anyway, don't worry at all. That's why we are here. You can find exhibition IA prompts explanation all over the internet. We have already prepared for you in 3 different places. On TOK Discussions website, on NailIB, and in the book. So what are the differences of these 3 places? The explanation on website, both NailIB and TOK Discussions, are somehow brief, just to explain to you, what this is about, because it says just what is knowledge, what can be counted as knowledge, or what are the differences between fact and evidence and these things. So just a brief explanation. In the course, in the video course that you can have on NailIB through your subscription, I will explain each and every single title. So you can have the explanations, you can have everything. Also, in the book, you can find sample objects, sample themes, and also sample text. You can have it all. And as far as I know, as far as I've done research, periodically I need to do that for keeping myself up to date. There is no website, no community like NailIB that can support you with all of it. That's my honest opinion. It's not because I prepared a course for NailIB. I have my own community. I would promote my own community rather than NailIB. But NailIB is more complete, and there is this huge difference. Amazing. I was just about to tell you why NailIB, and I received a question from one of you that says, why should we use NailIB and choose NailIB? IB in general, it doesn't matter which subject or core, usually is taught, and the educators, the mindset is either my generation or older, like people in their 60s, which means they have experience, they know a lot, they are very educated. However, they cannot relate to you. What are you talking about? You say, like, I have anxiety. What is anxiety? We don't know these things. Or all the communities, Instagram accounts or websites, they're amazing ones. So beautiful, progressive. They are there for, they are made by a group of college students, fresh IB graduates, which means they understand you a lot. They are not that professional. They're very good, amazing, and super intelligent people, but not experienced. And this is some kind of a short-term project. However, the fusion of these two, professionalism, experience, and being young and being relatable, is NailIB. Because the founder of NailIB and the entire team are young and, trust me, very professional. So that's my absolute honest opinion. And that's the reason I work with NailIB, not only TOK and other projects. So you need to choose one of 35 IA prompts. So IA prompts are presented to you. You can find, I told you, I talked a lot about where you can find the explanations. You need to choose only one. Later, I will tell you how to choose the best one for you. Then you need to choose 3 objects. What do you mean by objects? objects are, because it's an exhibition, right? So art exhibition, paintings, sculpture, or other types of exhibitions that, for example, performance or installation or whatever. Other types of exhibition, not art, they're exhibiting cars. So each object that is going to be exhibited, it's an object. It's the same for TOK exhibition. However, not that you are not forced into choose physical, touchable, tangible objects. You're advised to just use digital. What does it mean, digital? I will explain later, but just a photo of an object or digital objects, I will explain later. And then writing a commentary of maximum 950 words. This is important. You need to aim for 950. You will end up either with 1000 or 900. If you will end up with 900, it's good. If 1000, then you need to cut 50, because you know this maximum number in IB is a condition and you cannot change it. And another thing is that you need to prepare your exhibition. Of course, your exhibition is an exhibition. You can do it. Some schools let you do it, and you have exhibitions that this student, that student, everyone gathers and they exhibit their objects and commentaries, and it's fun. It's a very fun situation, good day and everything. However, you need to create your exhibition in one single PDF file, which has the photo of the object, title, photo, commentary, photo, commentary, photo, commentary, like that. And no group work is allowed. It's not a group exhibition, it is only individual exhibition. So you cannot create an exhibition with a classmate or friend. It should be you can share your ideas, but there shouldn't be very close similarities. They should be totally distinguishable, and so it should be yours and yours only. Now I want to tell you where to start. So it seems that, of course, you should start from choosing the IA prompt. I suggest not to. I totally recommend against it. Do not choose first the prompt, because then you need to match everything to the prompt, and you may not be able to. First, start from a theme. You know, in the TOK course, hopefully, you are taught 5 different themes and 5 different areas of knowledge, and one core theme, which is knowledge and knower. So those 5 different themes in TOK, whether it's politics, religion, I want to focus on something that you may find, technology. Technology is something that you usually, oh, that's great, someone is writing the themes. Yeah, I know the themes, trust me. I just wanted to find some theme that bring a good example from. The themes are language, the themes are technology, politics, religion, and indigenous societies. These are 5 themes. So language is very common, everyone chooses to teach. Technology is very common. Religion, sometimes in some societies they choose, in some societies it's totally forbidden. Politics is the same. You cannot choose your theme to study. That's up to your teacher and IB coordinator. They choose only 2 themes to be taught to you. However, you can choose a theme to write to create your exhibition based on. You are free to do that. So let's do it. How and why? Let's say you are very tech savvy, you're interested in technology and everything, and you know a lot about technology. Let's do it. Let's first choose the theme of technology. Then, what is your strong suit? What is your object? What is your subject, that you are really good at? So is it computer science? Is it physics? Is it chemistry? Is it mathematics? Because most probably if you are very tech oriented, you're good at math science and computer sciences. You are not, if you are tech oriented, maybe you are not that much good in human sciences, or that's the norm. So let's say you are tech savvy, you love technology, and your strong suit is computer science or physics. Then you can think what kind of objects you can have. This stage becomes a little bit tricky because objects should match the prompt. Okay? Objects should match the prompt, and then you should go through some kind of filtration. I will tell you. So, where to start? First, to start from the theme. What is your theme? Technology. Knowledge and technology. That's my theme. What's your theme? Knowledge and religion. That's my theme. Knowledge and language. Anything. You can also choose the core theme, knowledge and knower, which somehow covers everything, because it's just knowledge, the core theme. And what's your strong suit? Physics. Computer. What kind of objects? The objects that match the prompt. How can I choose the prompt? Okay. Choosing a prompt has a two-stage process. Is a two-stage process. Filter. Start filtering. You can filter based on the prompts that you like. You can filter based on the prompts that you don't like. Easy, right? There are 35. So you read 1, 2, 3, the 4 is not good, go. Repeat this process, or if you want to choose the ones that you like, and then, oh, that one is good. Oh, 8 is good. Oh, 16 is good. Repeat that process of filtration until you have 3. You have your top 3. So you have your top 3. These 3 prompts, IA prompts, match your theme. So now it will be easier to choose the objects and start writing. Then here we go. You start choosing the objects. This, to my experience, this is the part that students struggle the most. You struggle the most in choosing the objects. Okay, yeah, it's understandable. First of all, you need to know concepts and methods are not objects. So you cannot choose a mission, a NASA mission. You cannot choose it as an object. No, it's a mission. Mission is not an object. However, there's something good. Good news for you. A tweet from NASA about a mission is an object. You can choose it. Yeah, you can choose. You can choose tweets. You can choose news. News articles. But you should present it as an object, which means it's a tweet. You just screen capture the tweet, cut it beautifully, put it there. Or the NASA mission was about landing, I don't know, on the moon or something, discovering something, taking something to the space. There was an object, there was a satellite, there was a shuttle, there was a destination. A photo of that is an object. You can use it. So when you go through, you need help. Trust me, you need help, and you need either some kind of brainstorm with a classmate, with a friend, or with your teacher, or with your tutor, or in communities. When you start choosing your objects, don't stop at 3. You need to choose 5 objects, and it's very important. You may be like, oh God, I hardly could choose 3, now I need to choose 5. That's what you should do. Why? Because in the beginning, the object looks really good. It really matches the title, the prompt, the theme, everything. But when you start writing about it, when you start explaining, you find that it's hard. I cannot make the connection. That's why you need to have 5 to remove those 2 bad apples, bad objects. And the objects, I suggest keeping in mind that the objects should be simple. Keep it simple. Don't make it very complex. Again, if your teacher is against simplicity, because I know in many countries, or teachers who come from certain countries, for them complex is the best, and writing long essays and many words is best. Okay, it's a culture, you cannot change it. You just need to pass your assessment with a good grade, a good mark. But if it's possible, keep it simple. Number 2, it's very important, keep it relatable. You know, if you bring something from your generation that is really, really hard for my generation, or older than me, if your teacher is older, to understand, then it's not a good exhibition. Why? Because exhibition should connect to the audience, and in this, the main audience is the teacher. Teacher cannot relate. I'm like, what is that? You know, don't be too much of your very progressive generation. If your teacher understands, it's okay. But if your teacher doesn't, he or she is a little bit like old-fashioned, conservative, doesn't like these things, don't choose objects of that kind. And then it should be beautiful. No one wants an ugly exhibition. It's not just about like, I have a great mind and I show you whatever ugly thing. No. It's an exhibition. It should be beautiful. It should be aesthetically pleasing. So make your objects that you choose the object. Try to find a better photo, for example. Try to find a higher quality, a resolution, better lighting, and everything. Make it beautiful. Try to find beautiful objects. Okay, let's say you've done it all. Now it's time for writing the commentaries. Yeah, here we go. Usually when you want to write anything, you need an introduction. However, introduction is not mandatory, or even it is not expected for exhibition, for TOK exhibition. The TOK exhibition can only have 3 objects, 3 commentaries, 3 explanations for the objects. No introduction, no conclusion, nothing. That's what expected. So sometimes you feel like you want to have introduction. Sometimes, again, some teachers, they force you. They say, you need introduction. And you're like, it's not mandatory. They're like, no, it is mandatory. That's it. Just do it. So if one way or another you feel like having an introduction, or your teacher feels like having an introduction, then you're gonna have an introduction. Keep it very, very brief. First of all, you have only 950 words. Also, introduction will be placed usually under the first object. So it's somehow as if you are talking about the first object, but you are also introducing. Don't keep too much of space for your introduction. Keep it brief. Then these things are very, very crucial, important. They have a significant role in you receiving a good mark. What? Contextualize. What does it mean? It means creating a context. Clearly identify the objects and effectively link each to the selected prompt. Create a context. What are we talking about? I can have my cup, and by the way, I need to drink a little. Thank you. I can have my cup and just talk about the cup. I'll just describe the cup. But what is the connection of this cup with this webinar, with people here? No one knows. I need to explain. So I need to create a context. How you create a context? Give a little, teeny tiny bit of explanation and describe. Please, 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 for the love of God, do not over describe anything. Sometimes you take like your entire 300 words describing the object. I'm like, okay, thank you. Now we know that object is made of something. But what's the relation? What is the connection? Where is the context? So create the context. Explain, first of all, what the object is. 2, what is the relation and connection of the object to the prompt. 3, very important, justification. Justify why this object. So let me give you one short example. If you choose in the theme of technology, if you choose the IA prompt advancement and change, then you choose a phone, you choose a laptop. It shouldn't be a phone, a laptop. It should be your phone, your laptop. That's the justification, because it's what I use on a daily basis to connect to technology and to explore the world. So that is the justification. And this one is somehow optional, comparing the objects. Okay, if you can compare the objects, be careful not to overly compare the objects, which means try not to consume too much words in object comparison. And the comparison should add something. If it's not adding anything to the exhibition, just let go of it. Do not compare. It's not necessary. It's not mandatory. It's not even expected. So if you feel like, oh, with this comparison, I'm going to make a great point, go for it. But if that's not the case, if comparison doesn't add a lot of amazing things, Don't do it. Another thing that you need to know is having a holistic view of your exhibition. What does it mean? Holistic, first of all, means not part by part, not separated places, not separate discussions. Everything should come together as a whole, which means you start writing, or the audience start watching, looking at the objects and reading the commentaries, and they go to the next one, they go to the next one, and it looks like an entire discussion, not three different total unrelated discussions. Holistic view. And do not cross 950 words because that's not good. That's you won't be penalized based on new IB instructions, but the examiners, in this case teachers, are instructed to stop reading after 950. So even if it's one last good sentence, then they cannot include that sentence into your exhibition, and then eventually you will lose mark because the exhibition doesn't make sense. Okay? So this is all. I wish now I could give you a Q&A, but I have another plan for you. So just a quick review, and then I'm going to take examples from the book that help you just know your exhibition, how to do it and create. Okay? So first of all, assessment, it's internally assessed 33% of the weighting, and out of 10. You need to choose one of 35 IA prompts. You need to have 3, and you need to write a commentary of maximum 950 words. A single exhibition file should be created, preferably PDF, and no group work, individual. Then where to start? Start from the theme. One of the themes, choose the theme. What's your strong suit? Which means what is the subject that you're great at? We talked about it. And then what kind of object you need to choose, which means the object shouldn't be a mission or a concept or a method. It should be really object, something that even if you cannot bring it in the real world, you can go and say, oh, that's the object. Then choosing the IA prompt, there should be a filtration process, filter and filter and filter until you reach top 3. From the top 3, just look at them and see which one matches the theme, and then that's your IA prompt. Now, choosing the objects, you need 5 objects. Then in the process of writing, you will let go of 2, you will remain with 3, and keep it simple, keep it relatable and beautiful. About writing the commentaries, how to write the commentaries. Brief introduction if applicable, which means if you want to do it, you really feel that you want to do it, or your teacher demands. Contextualize, the most important part is that create a context about the existence of this object. Why this object is here, what's going on. Let me give you another example in real life about contextualizing. You go to your friend's place, or you go out together, something like that. And for example, you go to a cafe. Hopefully not Starbucks, but you all go to Starbucks. Anyways, so you go to a cafe and you see a painting. So you think, why that painting is there? The reason for the painting to be there is the context of that painting. Because maybe it matches the atmosphere, the motif of the cafe, or it's done by owner's daughter. The reason of the existence, that's the context. So the reason for the existence of your object in your exhibition is the context. And again, strongly justify is why this one, why not that one, which means make it personal. Explain the personal connection, don't make it personal. Explain the personal connection, that it's not any cup, it's my cup. It's not any book, it's the book that helped me. Like, it's not any dictionary, it's the dictionary that I received. It's not any religious object. You can also, it is, you know, it's fine. It's fine if you choose any object that is not yours, but it's connected to you through something. For example, through in religion, I remember that some good exhibitions with high marks, they've chosen just one the ornament, something religious from Christianity, and some from Islam. I don't remember something from Judaism, but definitely many, and other religions. But it wasn't the students, like for example, crucifix. It wasn't his or hers, but it was from their religion. So that's the connection, and that's justification why the object is chosen and why it is there. And then, if possible, if it adds something, compare the objects, have a holistic view of your exhibition, which means not three separate parts altogether. The entire exhibition was about that. And do not cross 950. Okay, so I'm going to bring some exhibition page 43. Let's go to page 43 and then 45, of course, because it's so, okay. You can ask your teacher to show you or to give it to you this. I don't think if you can see, but this chart. This chart exists in the guide, TOK guide for teachers. It's how the exhibition should be marked. Okay, this is the criteria, and it's good to know. 9 or 10 is considered excellent. Out of 10, 9 mark 10. 7, 8 is good. 5, 6 is satisfactory. 3, 4 is basic. 1, 2 is rudimentary, and 0 is 0. So I'm not going to read it for you, but there are explanations and what does it mean. Like for example, the best one, excellent, 9, 10. The exhibition clearly identifies 3 objects and their specific real-world content. So clearly identifying and justifying. Links between each of the 3 objects and the selected IA prompt are clearly made. So the link that you should make between an object are clear and well explained. There is a strong justification of the particular contribution that each individual object makes. So justification is strong and clear, understandable. All or nearly all of the points are well supported by appropriate evidence and explicit reference to the selected IA prompt. Because anyways, you need to make your point while explaining the object. It should be supported by evidence or reason, logic. There are some adjectives to describe excellent: insightful, convincing, accomplished, and lucid. For good, it should be pertinent, relevant, analytical, organized. And so, I'm going to read some examples of the diverse kinds of objects students could select. A tweet from the President of the United States, or from any president, or from Elon Musk, or from any influential and important person. An image of the painting by Pablo Picasso, for example. So you can just choose the image by Vincent van Gogh. The student's own extended essay, you can also use that. You can use your own extended essay, but the image of first page of your extended essay. Maybe you don't want it. A basketball used by the student during their physical education. Again, of course, you are not going to bring the basketball, but by the way, don't download an image of a basketball. Go to your gym, go to your basketball salon, wherever, take a photo. Come here. Even if you don't have access, just take a photo of any basketball. But with your phone. Do not download. It should be yours. Okay? Great. The graphic novel, like The Color of Earth by Kim Dong-hwa, or any graphic novel. These are just examples. A painting that the student created in their DP Visual Art course. That's a good one. A refillable water bottle provided to each student at school. And then you can talk about saving the planet, you can talk about mindfulness, you can talk about planning, you can talk about health, you can talk about a lot of things. A news article from a popular website. For example, you can choose from BuzzFeed. Do not trust BuzzFeed at all, but you can choose from them and analyze. There's no need. The objects that you choose and use are not your character, are not the representative of your personality and mindset, because you can choose something and explain why it's not a good thing. Keep in mind. A photograph of the students playing in an orchestra. Do we have anyone, please? Anyone in the audience who plays in the orchestra? No one. I wish there was one at least. Okay. You are not alone on this thing, because a total of 8 teaching hours only for exhibition is assigned by your teacher. And okay, about choosing the objects. For example, your biology IA is not an object, or methods that you used are not an object, or are not objects. But the device or devices that you used in lab for your biology IA can be used as objects. Go to the lab, take a photo, that's it, you have it. Take a better photo. Anyways. So a NASA program or mission, no, not an object, but official, tweets or news about those things, object. And this thing is in bold, and it says you can absolutely not use stock images. Do not use stock images, please. Okay, so here there was an IB prompt: how is current knowledge shaped by its historical development? And knowledge and technology was the theme that the student chose. Unfortunately, the student chooses very generic objects and receives a 3 out of 10. The student chose a stone tablet, a letter, and a laptop. Just imagine, instead of these 3, the student would go to a museum and take a photo of a stone tablet. But it wasn't a stone tablet. It was that stone tablet which exists, and there's a story behind it. A letter. Not a letter, just acceptance letter, or I don't know, any kind of letter that you can find. Take a photo, and it's not a letter, it's that letter. And a laptop. Just take a photo of your laptop. You have a laptop. I mean, most probably. Or if you don't, just your friend's laptop or anyone's laptop. You know what would happen if the student took just photos instead of downloading? That 3 out of 10 would become 5 out of 10. A little bit better explanation and justification, 7 out of 10. It's the difference is crazy, from 3 to 7. Just this little teeny tiny details. The examiner's comment reads, another key weakness of this exhibition is that the student needed to identify objects that have a specific real-world context, objects that exist in a particular time and place, because a laptop doesn't exist anywhere, but my laptop now exists here in front of me, and this is the time and this is the place. This simple difference. Another student chose really, I mean, they received 1 out of 10 by choosing the most generic objects possible: human, fire, and food. Just don't do that. But let me give you some good also examples. This student received 10 out of 10. This is the IA prompt. What challenges are raised by the dissemination and or communication of knowledge? So if you want to communicate knowledge, or which means spread knowledge, what are the challenges? This is what the student chose. And I can say he because I know him. Amazing mind. So also he chose these 3 objects. Starbucks holiday cup. It was Christmas. His Chinese English translation dictionary, and Billie Holiday's song Strange Fruit. So there is subtext, there is connotation, and this is the examiner's remark. The student has clearly identified 3 subjects, 3 specific objects, and has effectively linked each one to the selected prompt. There is also a strong justification for the selection of each object. So that's how you do it. Another one, 9 out of 10. The student, I don't know them, the student chose knowledge and the knower, the core theme. You can do it. And also the optional theme of knowledge and language. The objects are a novel, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, a music CD, Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang, and the image of a pink knitted hat, aka pussy hat. It became common for like that. So this precise and processed choice of objects gave the student this good mark. So the comment is, the student clearly identifies 3 objects and their real world context, and then makes clear links between the objects and the TOK prompt. Each of the individual objects is shown to make an interesting contribution to the exhibition. Okay. For writing commentaries, again, be careful that do not use any other word. The plagiarism for writing your essay and for writing your commentaries of the exhibition. Do not plagiarize. Be careful not to plagiarize. Don't use any other person's words. Just use yours. So this one, 10 out of 10, the student starts. The TOK prompt I have selected is: what challenges are raised by the dissemination and or communication of knowledge? This exhibition explores this prompt by reflecting on knowledge and language, and more specifically on whether subtext and connotation always create confusion rather than help us to communicate knowledge. The language we use in our everyday lives can often be interpreted many different ways by different people, depending on their cultural background, beliefs, ideologies, affiliations, personal experiences, etc. In particular, it seems that subtext and connotation can be particularly challenging, as they are often only recognized by people that share some particular knowledge or experiences, and it seems that they can easily be interpreted very differently by different people, which can use confusion and hinder communication of knowledge. This is how you write an introduction, if you want to write an introduction. So, then contextualization. The same exhibition. Oh, I have like 5 minutes. We will make it. The same contextualization. The same exhibition, but contextualization. The student chose the Starbucks holiday cup as one of the objects. This cup was used by Starbucks in 2017 and was controversial because some people viewed the symbol of the two hands holding hands on the cup as a sign that Starbucks was promoting a homosexual agenda, because they saw the cups as having an LGBT subtext. Amazing contextualization. You know, the student created this context that, so what are we talking about here? It's just a cup and it's a Starbucks with something on it. No, it's not. It's a very specific cup, and Starbucks wanted to communicate with the coffee drinkers through this cup. Put something on it. It's a kind of communication. However, communication went wrong. Or not, because later the student also explains that Starbucks did it on purpose in order to create a dialogue. They're amazing at marketing, not good at coffee at all. Okay, fight me on this. Starbucks is not coffee. Anyways, so for justification, are some types of knowledge more useful than others? Another exhibition, very high ranking. The student has chosen fishing spears. It belonged to Australian Aboriginals. I chose this object carefully to help show that both content-based and procedural knowledge are important and useful depending on the situation, and that sometimes actually procedural knowledge is far more useful. This title is about, should we, some knowledge by experience, that you go and you do something and learn it, or you go to school and study. Which one is better, which one is useful? So the student explains amazingly that both are useful based on the situation, and chooses one particular Aboriginal fishing spear. Then comparison. Example for comparison I can give you. In this particular case, the student also makes links between their three objects, which is not required but can be a valid way to help justify the inclusion of an object. So student received a satisfactory mark, but the comparison was good. I can't read the comparisons for you because then again it takes too much time. And holistic view. Holistic view, you know, one, I'm reading the comments of the examiners. One exhibition received 2 out of 10 because of lack of holistic view. So have this holistic view. The main issue with this example is that barely any links are made between the objects and the prompt. So there is a prompt, there is this object, there is that object, it's just all over the place. Don't create like that. The student would need to keep referring back to the prompt throughout their commentaries and their objects. It is important that students make the real-world context of the objects clear, but this goes too far and devotes almost all of the commentary to simply describe the details of the object. As I told you, do not overly describe things. Your description is like, it is made out of wood. It does that. It has a button there. That's too much. That's too much of explanation. Description, sorry. But the good one, the best one is the reason that this exhibition was only awarded 9 out of 10 rather than 10 out of 10 is that there is some repetition in the discussion of the different objects and some of the points were not completely clear. Okay, so you can find all of these things. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day and maybe I can see you somewhere. Take care.